Do you hear the sound, Rafael?
Yes, I can hear it.
Okay. So, welcome to Star Trek, Duke Star Trek, with Java challenges all the way up to 14. We do have our safe harbor statement, as always, in any presentation. But it's pretty easy. I guess the one aspect in here is that you could play all this stuff on the cloud, Oracle Cloud, if you so desire. But we assure you that no planets were harmed in the making of this presentation. More to come on that. Let's see, let's warp on out and see what we're talking about. So, a long time ago, but not in a galaxy far, far away, we had our JDK solar system, circa 1996, 2009. Great planets of JDK orbiting a nice yellow sun. There was joy and happiness in the world as Java made its way around the globe. Unfortunately, the sun succumbed to the forces of business and a red giant was formed, Oracle. The innermost planets were obliterated, unfortunate. But we survived with the JDK in the present day with various stable orbits. You can see the green orbits there of JDK 11, and further back you have JDK 8. Unfortunately, the other orbits like 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, they're all hyperbolic. They're only here for a short period of time, 6 months usually. Let's hop off to one of these planets and explore. So JDK 6 still is out there. This may be interesting. How many people still use JDK 6? You don't have to answer if you're embarrassed. Anyways, let's talk about a confused crew. So Rafael, why is this crew confused? What's going on?
Okay, Paul, I'll explain why they are confused. So this challenge is about a linked list, and we have some methods here. You can notice add first and add last, and then we are polling each one of them. And I'm gonna give you some time to think about this challenge, and you can come up with the answer.
Does your remote control work?
Not really.
Oh, okay, there it goes. Special sound effects. Mark, that's your cue. Oops. Does everybody see the poll? There we go, good.
Yeah.
Okay. And the music stops whenever we lose focus. So if you guys have lost focus too, just let us know. But no, it looks looking good. Okay.
Okay, so let's see the answer then.
Next slide. I'll go ahead and do that. Here comes Duke. Okay. We have the answer.
Yeah.
And the green animation showing how, it came in, Worf Scott, but then Odo. What happened? How did Odo get up there?
So considering that we added first Worf, but then we added first Odo, then Odo will go to the top of the stack, and then Worf will go to the bottom. And as we added Scott at the last position, Scott will be maintained in the last position. And the poll method will get the first element and will remove after that. So that's the process. That's what's happening in this challenge.
Okay. So as we learn this, Mark, there's a share results on the poll. Yeah. I don't know, did everybody see the poll? And this is where, okay, if you didn't see the poll, type in something in the chat channel. But I think hopefully everybody can see that.
I can see the poll here.
Uh-oh. So that was a confused crew. This is the clone crew. Okay, we have to watch out where you click. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So you can probably close the poll. That's the next one, right? The clone crew. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this one. Clone crew. Yeah, Spock, Scott, and Quark. Array copy. We all remember array's copy of crew 2. It should be a simple one, right? It's 0 pointers. 0 start with the 0. Anyways.
Yeah, it should be a simple one, Paul. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Okay, let's show them the answer. We should have done that while I was talking. So the poll is in progress there. But of course, if I click somewhere else, it stops its animation. Okay, 3-1. Go ahead, try to do that poll, everybody. Don't want the guys to get cloned up too much. Look at that. Wow. That was a cliffhanger, right?
Let's see the answer.
Okay, answer is coming. Where's Duke gonna land? B. How many people got B? There we go. 5.
Congratulations.
Good.
Congratulations, guys. So I'll explain why it's B. So you can realize here that we are copying 2 elements on this array's copy of method. Therefore, when we try to access the index 2, which is the third one, we can't access that. So Spock and Scott will work fine, but as we copied only 2 elements, we don't have the third one. So that's why we have the array index out of bounds exception. Okay, let's watch the next one.
All right. Good job. Let's moving on. What planet are we going to visit next? Oh, yes, we got to warp out. So let's hop over to JDK 7. It's also being absorbed by the great red giant. We have a malfunctioning door. Take a look at these. What could possibly go wrong with these doors? They're supposed to be auto-closable. Really? Okay. So is the door open the ship? You know, if you open the door in a spaceship, doesn't all the atmosphere go out and you get sucked out into space? That'd be good to have a malfunctioning door on your spaceship. But yeah, if you're familiar with Star Trek, they have force fields. So even if the door blows open, the force field goes in and only a few people get sucked out. Okay. So polls up. We got, audience participation is waning, or this is a tough one. What are we looking at here? Static void main, an override of the close. What do you think? Reveal the answer. Okay, here we go. Where does Duke fly off to? The ship is closed and it fails to open. The end. So as you can see from our yellow highlights there, hopefully those are coming across. Yeah, we do the ship door to open first and then go up to the open, which throws the new runtime exception. And the
Yeah.
ship, so the ship door is closed. Why is that why is that first?
Yeah, so basically, Paul, that is happening because when we invoke the open method, then there we are throwing a runtime exception. And then when we throw this runtime exception, we have the close method. So we are using here the try with resources feature from Java. And then when we use that, when this runtime exception is thrown, the close method will be invoked. So these are the steps. First, the open method will be invoked, the runtime exception will be thrown, and then when an exception is thrown, the close method from the try with resources feature will be invoked. And then finally, we're gonna go to the catch block, and we're gonna show the message of the exception, and then we're gonna go to the finally block. The try with resources is a nice feature from Java because it avoids us to write boilerplate code. So we can make our code more concise. We don't need to write a lot of code to close a resource.
Yeah, very good. So it is kind of a tricky logic to follow there, but yes, this does actually work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we can go to the next one.
All right. Malfunctioning doors again. What could possibly go wrong here? Are we ready? The new poll is up. I won't touch it, so the music will continue to play. Very similar to the last one. Okay. Yeah, but people are more shy on this one.
Yeah, this one requires a little bit more of time.
Okay, yeah. We give everybody a little bit more. But I guess the thing here is that we have a get suppressed get message. And let's see, anything else that stands out? Okay. And a couple of people have answered on. Well, we got a few more coming in. Great. Okay, let's see what Duke has to say.
Let's see.
Wow, failed to open the door. See you again. And it says, looks a lot like the last one too. It's just a matter we got the suppressed message in there, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so it's very similar. The only difference is that we are throwing two exceptions. So when we invoke the open method in the step one, then we throw the runtime exception in the open method implementation. But then the JVM is obliged to invoke the close method because we are using the try with resource feature. Therefore, there's going to be a suppressed exception so that the main exception will be the fail to open door, and then the fail to auto close door will be suppressed because the close method will be invoked anyway. So we're gonna have a suppressed exception. And then in the end, the finally block will be invoked.
Okay, so here again, another little tricky thing with the exceptions and the messages that you can display. So one of those aspects is, log messages that you want to throw out there to help you debug your issues. Okay, just a quick note to the people in the audience that there is a Q&A question and answer section that you can write in questions in case you want some clarifications for myself or Rafael. But with that, let's go ahead and move on. Oh yeah, did you share results? Are you guys seeing the results? How can you raise a hand or anything? Okay, I'll pick on somebody I know. Steve, Corwin, I saw the results. Very good, thank you. Okay, then we will move on. Ah, yes, somebody put a thumbs up in the Q&A. Thank you. All right, let's hop over to planet JDK8. Yes, now this is one of those stable planets, nice green atmosphere. See an asteroid coming. It may not last forever though, but it is stable for right now. The unknown order. Wow. Looks like this may be an interesting one with Kirk, Spock, and Uhura. What kind of order would they be in?
For sure it is, yeah. It's about streams.
Yeah, streaming. It's almost like, if you're in a transporter, you're going to be streaming your particles from one point to another. You hope they come in the right order. So let's see this new poll. Thank you, Mark. Okay, that poll is going great here. What could possibly go wrong? We have a string, we're peaking, we're limiting, and we're doing a for each, printing out. And we got 3 players, and every answer has at least 4.
I like that. It's 25% for each question.
Yeah, oh, look at that. So
Now it's changing, okay.
it's changing a little bit. Yeah. All right, are we ready for the answer? Where is Duke gonna land his flying wing on? Ooh, he's pretty quick. Oh, look at that. We got
Okay.
Kirk, Spock. What happened there?
Okay, so this happened, Paul, because streams are lazy. So what will happen is that the intermediate methods won't be invoked until the for each method that is a terminal operator method is invoked. So as the streams are lazy, the intermediate methods, that means the peak and limit methods, will be invoked only when the for each method is invoked. So when the for each method is invoked, then the peak method will be invoked, and then we're gonna invoke the for each, and then the peak method again, and then the for each method again. And just one small observation about the peak method is that the peak method is usually used for debugging.
Okay, so not something you would normally put into your system to do things with.
No.
Okay. All righty, cool. Let's see. I guess there may be some more things to look at on JDK8.
Yeah.
Doors, again. What is it with doors in space?
So many doors.
Let's see, door number 1, 2, or no, it's A, B, or C. Okay. All right. Oh, wait, I was expecting Jeopardy music here. For each. E and the door number. Okay. Unpredictable is on the poll. That's interesting. Everybody's thinking about this one. I was trying to think about it too. We got ABC for each E, print out E plus the door number. And door number starts at 0. Okay, couple more minutes on the poll. All right, let's give Duke his due. Where is he gonna go? Dun, dun, dun. Our first
Oh,
compilation error. How can that be?
okay. So this is happening because when we use lambdas, our variables have to be effectively final. This means that it can't be changed. And we are changing here the door number by using the post increment operator. Therefore, this won't compile. So that's the problem from our from
Yeah,
this lambda challenge.
yeah. So
So
lambdas were introduced in JDK8, and now what it sounds like is you can't use that variable which is defined on the outside of a lambda to change its value.
exactly, you can use a variable if it's not changed. So for example, if we declare door number and never change it, then it would compile fine. But as we are changing it inside our lambda, then it won't compile. That's the problem.
Okay. Good to know about lambdas and external variables. Treat them kind of like finals. Okay, so let's leave our stable JDK8 and off into another world. JDK9. This was like the shortest lived planet ever, but it introduced something very interesting.
Yeah,
Modules. Wow.
modules.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see here, guys, one module is using each other. So we
And
can
this
go to
is,
the next.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have a two-parter here, so everybody take a screenshot real quick. Yeah, this is very interesting. Vulkan and module Ryza and module Vulkan. Let's pop over into the question.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm gonna describe to you quickly here just the highlights of this challenge. So as you can see, we have the class Execator from the module Rise, and then the class file, the class POC from module Vulkan. And then we have a private method, attack. And we are using this private method in the Executor class. And we are trying to break encapsulation with reflection. And we are also invoking the method. Those are the main points of this challenge, and then we can see the alternatives.
well, I sense a disturbance in the force. What are the Simpsons doing here? So here again, we're just looking at what's going to be system printed out. A couple messages there. May have an exception, maybe. But you do have to remember what those modules were and what was inside the module statement. So the question is, did everybody take a screenshot of the module statement? Well, we go back to the module statement just to help them with the poll since they got the answers up there. So the module Ryza requires Vulkan. Module Vulkan exports Defiant to Ryza. Okay, let's see, a compilation error at 6 and 8 of the Execator class. Oh, we got somebody else saying we got a inaccessible object exception will be thrown. Okay. I may have stumped the majority of the audience with this one, Rafael.
This
Okay.
is a hard
Yeah, this is a challenging one, yeah. Modules weren't easy when they came out, and JDK 9 seems to be such a long time ago.
one.
All right, let's go ahead and give Duke a shot at this. Okay, number C. Letter C.
Yeah, guys. So this is the problem. We are trying to break encapsulation here, but we are not opening the module to our RISE module. Therefore, we can't do that when we are using modules. So that's one benefit of using modules, is that we can really use encapsulation. We can't break the rules. We can't use reflection to break encapsulation. If it is private, we can't access it unless we do that in the module file. And one other thing that we can realize is that the method can be invoked with no problem at all. Since we are exporting the Vulkan package to RISE, we can invoke this method, but we can't break encapsulation.
So
Yeah,
more
as you
on
can see
that.
here,
Yeah.
yeah, we are exporting the package, but we weren't using the opens. So if we want to break encapsulation with reflections, then we have to use the opens clause. And one more important detail about modules is that for mobile applications, if we can use only the necessary modules to our Java application, we can create lightweight applications with it. So we don't need to import the whole Java JDK. We just need to import what we need. Okay, that's it for this one. Let's watch the next.
Okay. We're off to another planet. JDK 10. Anybody remember JDK 10? What happened there? VAR. So a new type. But we call this the VAR turnabout intruder as opposed to VAR banks. Anyways, we got an away team out there, and we want to find out who is Captain Kirk. It's kind of Boolean. Yeah. Should be simple, right? Thinking, and well, we got somebody who knows Dr. Lester. Okay, so yeah, this is more the terminology because var you can specify it, but you can also do what we did in line 5, var new var. Though highly don't recommend doing that kind of stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to what does Duke say? Returns true. Okay. Yeah, new var, new class, new class. So it kind of goes involved with what are the New classes being created here. So inner classes are all different. With the var new var, that's just you created a class called var. Spock is another new class because of the curly braces. Captain Kirk, new var with the Boolean as var to return true. So a new class with the method. Dr. Lester, you can cast null to a var. And this is the tricky part because it's still null. But it's different from Captain Kirk. So Captain Kirk is a var and Dr. Lester, but is a different var from Kirk, if that makes sense. So at any rate, it's basically a casting type aspect. You can use the var and set it up, but you have to understand when you're using, other class definitions that things won't work between the two. Okay. Moving on to our next planet. JDK 11, another green planet, should be with us for quite a long time. And we have var, the sequel. So as you saw in the last one, var was introduced. Now they enhanced it a little bit. So what can we find out in this one? It looks like I got a couple of strings going on here, but we have some lambdas going on. Let's go ahead and see what the answers are. We could have the new poll, please. Thank you. Okay. Interesting stuff. SETI Alpha 6. Anybody remember the Wrath? Star Trek 2. Uh-oh. Okay, we do have one answer. MPE. Thank you, sir, whoever you are. Oh, let's try. Come on, Duke. Where are you, Duke? Help us out. Return SETI Alpha 6 null. So what we're doing, what we wanted to come up with is show off that their keywords can be used with lambdas now, like final, for the var, type. That was really, that's what they threw in there. And you can therefore, like we said before in lambdas where things don't change, and I believe somebody threw out a thing about you can actually modify that a little bit. But here we can put in the keywords now and return and use those within our lambdas as well as the var types. Okay. What's next, guys? JDK 12, another short-term guy, but surprise, it blew up. All that stuff got sent to JDK 14. So you may have heard within the JDK every 6 months they put out something. They also have, Rafael, help me. I want to say they're kind of like test preview features, right? And then those,
Yes.
those previews can be promoted to real features. So JDK 12 was so short-lived that it only had a few preview things in there, and those got thrown out. So let's move on to another one. 13, another short-term guy. And here we're talking about text blocks. new stuff. So, a Jedi without a text block. And Luke, we're definitely in a time warp here now, wouldn't you say, Rafael?
Yeah.
So, okay, so we got the equals and a format it. So, hope everybody remembers their formatting. Let's see, one more poll to come up. Oh, yeah, I guess I should show the answers, huh? What am I? Come on, there we go. What could possibly be the answers with this? It's just, we were very lucky that you can only have 4 different permutations for this question. Does that mean you can only be 25% right? Okay, so we got the Jedi without and Jedi with. Now we have to understand what's going on within each of those formatting parameters. Now key in on that \n. Okay. Oh, we got good stuff. Wow, evenly distributed here. No, we got a winner of number C. All right, let's see where Duke lands his ship at. Dun, dun, dun. And C, look at that, false truths. What's going on here? So in the text block, the first one, it's without text block, using the single quote kind of guys versus the text block, triple quote is just a formatting aspect. But the dot strip is the key here. I don't know if you can see the mouse. The dot strip actually only
We can
acts,
see.
okay, it acts upon just the HTML.
Yeah.
Or so there's nothing to, or that's, you know, and the format it so, you know, Luke doesn't get in there. So these two things are not equal because they are actually have 2 different content.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the Luke gets without text box. Yeah, with, yeah, the with text box would actually put Luke in there. Without text box does not. Okay, but still, it's kind of interesting to use the text box so you don't have to put in your \ns, things like that. And then the other thing is to remember is that, well, when you're doing method invocation, the method invocation comes prior to concatenation with the plus operator. So that was the interesting thing we discovered out of this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Let's get to another planet. Could it be the final planet? 14. Starship switch.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we trying to switch around here? The people or the starships? Okay. So on this one, we got many objects. Get Vulcan survivors, characters, a couple case statement. All right. Are we ready for the answers? Let me push the button. There we go. So you may not remember the enhanced switch came out, I think, in 12. Previewed it. They made a change in 13, previewed it again, and now it's final within JDK 14. So this switch is the switch. Okay. So anything else we want to say about this one, Rafael?
Yeah, so the important thing of this challenge is that we are using lambdas, and we are also throwing an exception with it. So we avoid boilerplate code. And one other thing that you can realize is that we are using the reserved word yield instead of the break word that was used in the Java 13 version.
Yeah. So that was a keyword switch out there. Let's see. I got to take a look inside. Integer value 129. Everybody's familiar with the compressed if else.
Yeah. Ternary if else. Yeah.
Yep. So 129, 10, or 7. Let's see, 2 or 4. We're just trying to make it challenging. That's why it's called Java challenges.
Yeah, there are some tricks with wrappers as well, guys.
Okay, let's go ahead. We got a good participation. Where's Duke gonna land? Every day is a rescue day. Okay, so the value, yield, lambda is okay. And no throw cause.
Yeah, so we don't need to put throws. The lambda is okay. And the yield method, the yield reserved word is only required when we have more than one line for our case block.
Okay, so the case statement, so Spock data is on the system printout every day is a day. We got that. Then we yield. But we have the illegal state exception and no survivors.
Yeah, and one other important point is that we are using the method value of. And when we use this method, we are actually returning a primitive type, which when we compare 129 to 129, which is primitive, it's gonna return true. So we also have in the wrappers a cache from, so we have this cache from 100 and minus 127 to 128. So if it was 128 and if we are using wrapper type, it would be true. But if we weren't, if we were using the wrapper type of integer as 129, it would be false because the cache goes until 128. But as we are using the value of method, it's gonna return a primitive type, therefore it's gonna be true. And then it's gonna be return 10. It's gonna return 10, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to our final challenge, record. Also something new in JDK 14.
Yes, exactly. So now with record, we don't need to create getters and setters. We don't need to create hash code and equals method. So we can create a very concise object, concise data object with this new concept, which is great because we can just use our what we need and all the fields are final as well. So it's an immutable class under the hoods. And one other detail you can realize is that we are using a generic type of T.
Okay, let's go ahead and see what the answers are. Could be. All right, and the last poll is up. Okay, so just a couple of choices. I got new ship, commander.name. Who's the commander? Where did Worf come from? Oh, there he is. Okay, let's move on. Oh, nobody's answered the poll yet. 3 lucky listeners are hanging in there. Appreciate it all. We move on. We got somebody who was, yeah, excellent. So commander.name. Okay, where's Duke gonna show us? Fly around Duke. All right. We got a very smart person in the audience still. Yay. Okay.
Yeah, so in the first print ln, we're gonna print Spock because we are passing the Spock to commander there, as you can see, and we are using generics. And then once we pass this Spock, the generic type, actually when we pass vger, generic type will be string, and the name is gonna be Spock. And then we're gonna show that, and then as you can see, we have a constructor, kind of a constructor. It's a little bit different in record. So we are comparing if the ship is the type of serializable, which as you can see in the middle of the code, we are declaring a record of a new ship, and a record is not serializable. So therefore, when we pass this new ship to the commander record, what's going to happen is that this ship is not serializable. Therefore, runtime exception will be thrown. But a record is it's a great feature that we can use when we need to create an immutable class that yeah, we can make the code very concise, as you can see, and we don't need to declare hash code and equals methods. We can even use generics, and we can even use kind of a different type of constructor.
Yeah, very good. Is the record a final or is it a preview of JDK 14?
It's a preview yet.
Preview still, okay. So that means if you use it, you can send in your use cases and whatnot to Oracle, and they will it will help them with that one. Okay, cool, great on the poll, and thank you, Mark, very much for managing those polls. I think we have one more slide here. Wait a second, where are we going? Oh, JDK 15. Is that coming so soon? August, September, maybe. All right. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We thank you all for joining us. You can contact Rafael and myself on Twitter. I use the @SDJUG mainly. Also, javachallengers.com for a reference to this stuff. The code is actually up on source code control. Which one was it again, Rafael?
So I can send the link to you guys. It's Rafael del Nero, the GitHub link. I can.
Yeah, just post that into the chat channel, and we can post it up onto somewhere somehow, maybe in the YouTube video link.
Yeah, I have it here. How can I access the chat here?
It's on the main menu. There should be chat, or just stick it in the Q&A is okay too.
Yeah, I don't think I have access, but I'll send to you
Okay.
on the Hangout.
All right. Okay, so that really concludes this week's meeting. Happy everybody could join us.
Yeah, just one final call. I have a present. I have a gift for you guys who waited until the end of the presentation. I have so I can offer my book for free, which is the Golden Lessons book, and it's basically a career book, which I laid out 100 golden lessons that I learned, which made me to get a job abroad and to have a good career as a software engineer. And I'm sharing that to you. So I can share with you, Paul, the link of the book.
Okay. Yep.
Share with the guys, totally free.
Let me take a screenshot of our final participants here. I'll have them in memory. Okay. Got it. So I got Stanley, Steve, and Tom. I know Stanley and Steve and Tom, good to meet you. So send me, contact me, SDJUGPrez at yahoo.com, please. And I will forward you that link from Rafael for a free copy of his book. We do also have, of course, Barbara and Mark who have helped out. So, of course, we'll send you that link too. And I've already got your email addresses. Tom, I think you're the only one I need your email address. Okay. Well, good. Let us know, or let me know if you can, how you enjoyed this this format of our San Diego Java Users Group. As I said at the beginning, looking for speakers, and really want to thank Rafael for staying up late in Ireland to present to us. It is a challenge for global speakers sometimes.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation, Paul. It's an honor to be here.
Okay. Pleasure to have you, Rafael. You have a wonderful evening out there, and everyone else, again, thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time on the San Diego Java Users Group. We'll try and figure out when and where that's going to be.